Top 10 list. Every single Pokemon channel has one, and this is not the exception. Today I tell you my top 10 favorite Pokemon from Generation 1 till Generation 5. I make this divide because of the change from Pokemon sprites to Pokemon 3D models that happened in Generation 6, and how that changes the design and perspective in some Pokemon. My list isn't in any particular order except for number 1, so these are simply my favorite Pokemon in general. So let's begin! So first, I want to give some honorable mentions to some of the Pokemon that I love but didn't quite make the cut. These are Tauros, Reuniclus, Electros, and Braviary. All of these Pokemon I love because of personal history with them or because I've used them in teams before. Tauros, and specifically, I love because of my relationship with my grandfather, and the fact that he is a rancher makes me like Tauros a lot. So, without any further ado, let's begin. Number 10 is Gigalith. This Pokemon I found the design to be a really cool one. My first playthrough of Pokemon White, when it came out back in the day in Japan, I decided to use a Gigalith. And honestly, spamming Earthquake was so cool. Also, I prefer the sprite over the 3D model because in the 3D model it looks a little bit too rounded, in my opinion. And I see Gigalith more of a edgy kind of Pokemon, so yeah, that's the reason why. Also, the shiny looks so sick. Like the blue crystals, that looks amazing. My number 9 is Hippowdon. Many of us have thought that the female Hippowdon and Hippopotas was a shiny, but then discovered that, well, that wasn't the case. In general, I think hippos are an amazing animal. And when we finally got our Hippo Pokemon in Generation 4, I was really happy with it. This is also the case where I believe that the sprite looks better than the 3D model, even though the anime has shown Hippowdon without the sand. I just wish that the model added a little bit of sand, like in Generation 5, coming out of the spouts, so that the Hippowdon could bury him or herself into it. In number 8, I have Staraptor. This regional bird is my favorite one, with the bold cut of the feathers that looks like a scythe, and the red on the tip of it. I think that it looks amazing. My favorite sprite of it is the Platinum Heart Gold Soul Silver one, and I think that the move from sprite to 3D actually benefits this one. It makes it look more slick and refined, so plus on that. My number 7 is Aggron. So imagine that you like Beast, and you like armor, and well, you combine those and boom, you have Aggron, and the design looks so cool and amazing and sleek, and I just simply love freaking Aggron. You know, and also I'm a big fan of Full Metal Alchemist, so this guy looks totally like a Pokemon that Alphonse would use. So cool points added there. My number 6 is Exploud. This one is one that I used in a team back in the day. When I first started YouTube, I did a Pokemon Sapphire playthrough, and in that playthrough I used an Exploud. This guy was amazing. He used some special attacks, and honestly, I simply loved the guy. Also, the concept of it is really cool. A sound box and having pipes to emit higher force sounds and a big mouth to amplify it, well, that's just fantastic. So before we go any further, I remind you that you should subscribe to my channel and you should like this video. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm, and well, if you like the content, well, hopefully you like everything that I upload here. So now let's continue with the video. My number 5 is Donphan, and this one definitely has its beginnings in the anime. Ash's Donphan was so cool, and especially when it evolved, that the first time I played through Pokemon Soul Silver, yes, even though Donphan is not found in Soul Silver, I traded a friend for a Phanpy egg, and I used it in my team. His name was Don, and he was a really cool Pokemon. My number 4 is Lapras, and as well as Donphan, this has its beginnings in the anime. Also, the fact that I have a plushie that I bought back in Japan in 2016 has to do with it. The design of Lapras I've always liked, and seeing it in every episode of the Orange League saga from the anime was mainly the reason why I like it so much. And also, I love dinosaurs, and this one is based in a plesiosaur, and I love plesiosaurs because it's a dinosaur. Well, technically it's not, but you know the drill. It looks cool. I just like it. My number 3 is Haxorus. The same things that I said about Staraptor applies to Haxorus. I love the design, and also I love dragon Pokemon. It's as simple as that. The axes, the red on the tips, and man oh man, if you tell me about the shiny version, black shinies are amazing. In number 2, it's a tie between my 2 favorite water starters, Feraligatr and Empoleon. I will go through each one. Feraligatr I love because of my love of the Johto region, and it really expresses the simplicity and the naturality of the region. The design is a simple one, and, well, in general, I like crocodiles. And the fact that it's an alligator, well, that adds to it. Also, this was definitely influenced by my love of the Crocodile Hunter when I was a kid. So, I definitely see a few things that go back to my childhood. And now Empoleon. I love this guy because this was the first starter Pokemon that I got to level 100. And also, technically, it was my first starter Pokemon, even though Diamond and Pearl weren't my first games. Also, penguins. Who doesn't love penguins? Like, they're amazing. They have tuxedos and they're cool looking, and I mean, penguins are great. And now my number 1. My number 1 is Ludicolo, and if you have seen my Instagram, you already knew this. So, a reminder, you should follow me on my Instagram. I post stuff there and, well, I interact with you every single time that I can. Ludicolo technically is my spirit Pokemon. As a Mexican and a lover of dancing around and jumping around, Ludicolo simply just fits me. It embodies me in a perfect way, and believe me, when I look at him, I look at me as well. Also, the fact that I played Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness when I was young, and I saw Mirror Beast Ludicolo, well, that I think also has to do with it. And also the music of Mirror B. Dude, his music is awesome, but that's a different top 10. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please consider subscribing to the channel. In the comments below, use the hashtag Pokemon Question of the Day and put your top 10 favorite Pokemon. I read every single comment and I love reading yours and interacting with you. Please take care guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one.